August 2021, Salt Lake City, Utah. Well, okay, not quite in Salt Lake City, Utah. We got up this morning in Omaha, Nebraska and started driving across Nebraska on our way to Salt Lake City, Utah. After spending all day driving nearly 470 miles, we finally made it to the outskirts of Cheyenne, Wyoming. Man, it's a long way across Nebraska, but we're here in Cheyenne and we're here for only one night. We're spending the night at the Laramie County Fairgrounds, and that's only about 30 miles into Wyoming from the Nebraska border. The RV park at this fairgrounds is pretty small, but it's got full hookups with 50 amp service. The sites are fairly flat, and it's easy to get in and out of. And that's pretty much all I'm looking for when I'm looking for an overnight stop. If you're passing this way, I'd recommend it as a nice simple overnight stop. I put a link down in the description below so you can find this park if you want to. Once we settled in for the evening, we found out that the fairgrounds was having an antique gun show. After sitting for the past 7 hours and driving, we thought, why not? We'll take the short walk over there and check out the gun show. This was a good way to decompress after a long day's drive. But soon it was time to crash out for the night because the next morning we had another 470 odd miles to drive. Where yesterday we spent all day driving through Nebraska, today we were going to spend most of the day driving through Wyoming. Again, the states out west are kinda big. 30 miles short of the Utah border, it was time for us again to pull over and put some gas into this beast. After stopping just long enough to fill up and wash the bugs off of the windshield, it was time for us to do the last 30 miles before we finally made it to Utah. We're now almost at Hill Air Force Base in Salt Lake City, and the mountains are pretty, but just like the ride out so far, construction was still a major item. We hit a lot of it during this trip. Slowed us down a little bit, but not so bad. And now, with only 20 or 30 miles left, we were hitting it again. It was nice to make that final turn into Hill Air Force Base. As those of my military friends who use RV parks on a military base know, the traffic barriers up front are not placed with RVs in mind, and this one was tighter than most. So let me take you to normal speed here and check this out. You can see the tire marks on the island on the right. I'm thinking that many an RV found out that it's just a little too tight, and I was crawling through this thing, checking my rear view mirrors and side view mirrors just to make sure I wouldn't hit anything at all. Slow and easy, it's the only way to do it. It took a little while, but I got through there. I did not rub a tire. I did not hit a pole. Success, and that's all that matters. The RV park at Hill is nice, but it is poorly marked. You really have to pay attention and take a good look at the signs before you go down either of those roads. And so we are finally here. The view out the windshield is of the mountains, and boy, do I love that. We intend to spend the next 2 weeks here in Salt Lake City, Utah. So now we have officially added Utah to our list of states visited. It's now time for us to start exploring, and I hope you'll join us as we explore this stop.